Filip Temnyalov presents The City of Melnik and the ROZHEN Monastery Guide. Author, Director of Photography, Filip Temnyalov. In southern Bulgaria, about 2 hours away from Sofia, at the foot of the beautiful Pirin mountain, nestled between the sand pyramids is the smallest town, Melnik, with an amazing history and wonderful wine. Not far away, also in the foothills of Pirin, is the spiritual center of Pirin, Macedonia, the ROZHEN Monastery, the Nativity of Holy Virgin. According to some researchers, it was founded by Calist Melnik, an Orthodox cleric, writer and hesychast of the 14th century. Another reliable piece of information is a manuscript file from the Great Lavera in Athos, 16th century, by Hieromonk Kuzma. Then was the rise of the monastery, then it was burned down in the 17th century, and rebuilt in the 18th century. The miraculous icon of the Virgin Portezu is kept in the monastery, and the temple festival of the monastery is on September 8th. The praying mantis spends the night in the monastery on the 7th and 8th of September. They present gifts to the icon, and on the 8th there is a tour with the icon, and a sacrifice for health. What attracts us? What secrets and stories can the smallest town in Bulgaria, known today for its wonderful wine, tell us? The lovely nature, the unique shapes of the Melnik pyramids at the foot of Pirin mountain amaze us. How did they form? The sand pyramids, stone mushrooms, naturally formed castles and towers appeared more than 4 million years ago when a freshwater pool existed on the site. At that time, the second highest mountain in Bulgaria, Pirin, began to rise, and the waters flowed south to the Aegean Sea, forming the canyon of the Melnishka River. Erosion and winds reshaped the bizarre rocks into a picture that nature continues to embody today. In antiquity, there was a settlement of the Thracian tribe Medes, from which the legendary rebel Spartacus also came. The earliest information about Melnik is from the 4th century BC. From the time of the empire of Alexander the Great, the city was part of it. This is confirmed by the coins of this period found here. A few centuries later, Romans lived on this land. The Slavs, who subsequently inhabited this territory, called their settlement Melnik. The name comes from the Slavic word mel, which means white clay, chalk. At the beginning of 13th century, Melnik became the capital of an independent feudal principality ruled by despot Alexei Slav, nephew of the Bulgarian king Kaloyan. The ruins of his fortress are preserved to this day, on the ridge above the city. At the end of 14th century, the Bulgarian lands, as well as Melnik, fell under Ottoman rule for 5 centuries. Melnik remained within the boundaries of the Ottoman Empire until 1912. In the 18th century, during the era of the Bulgarian revival, the city stood up for a new life. Melnik becomes a flourishing city, significant in size and population. Local merchants sold their goods in Budapest, Vienna, Genoa, Venice. Melnik is famous for the best wine in southern Bulgaria, the regional Melnik wine, known throughout Europe. The variety is called Shiroka Melnishka Loza. Here, every house has its own winery. The tunnels and labyrinths hand-built into the sandstone rock to store the wine are very reminiscent of the hobbit houses from The Lord of the Rings with their round wooden doors. From the once famous city with a population of 7,000 to 8,000 inhabitants, with about 1,300 buildings, Today Melnik is the smallest city in Bulgaria with about 250 inhabitants. An interesting landmark are the remains of the Metropolitan Church St. Nicholas near the city. In the central part of St. Nicholas Hill, only the eastern altar wall of the church has been preserved. The remains of the Church of St. Barbara are located in the northeastern part of the town of Melnik, under the Kordopulos house. It was built in 1754 by a wealthy Bulgarian merchant, later Greek, with the surname Kordopulos. The building is one of the most monumental Renaissance houses in the country. There is an exhibition in it, which shows its interior architecture with decorations from frescoes, carvings and stained glass. The guest room has a view to the four directions of the world, with 24 windows in 2 rows, and at each hour of the day, the sun's ray, like the hand of a clock, penetrates through a different window. The upper row of windows is of colored Venetian glass, which softly lets in the light falling on the painted walls, carvings and cupboards. Built 270 years ago, curiously, that makes it 22 years older than the founding of the United States. The owners of the house, fans of music, were able to invite musicians from the Vienna Philharmonic. The wooden floors are covered with colorful rugs. In the bedroom above the fireplace, Christian and Muslim symbols, revival and Oriental style are considered. In the house, which according to some sources is one of the largest in the country, you can visit a mill cellar, which was carved into the rock and thus a 150-meter tunnel was manually formed. In the cellar of the house there was a walled pot into which gold coins, a surplus of the budget, were dropped through an opening on the upper floors. The cellar can hold 300 tons of wine, with the largest barrel holding more than 12 tons. Here you can see the ruins of the Bolyarska house from 13th century, the supposed residence of the ruler of an independent principality, Alexei Slava. The fairy tale town of Melnik is a wonderful destination combining unique nature, remarkable Renaissance architecture and interesting legends, which you can learn over a glass of Melnik wine in one of the cozy taverns of this romantic town. Subscribe to the channel. Leave likes and comments. Guide, author, director of photography, Filip Temnyalov. Thanks to the friends who helped make the movie happen. Copyright 2023.